What's going on, people? Rasati out here in Singapore, and thank you so much for joining me on the Night Owl podcast. As always, you guys, I am thankful, I am grateful, I have tons of work to do. So, without further ado, I just want to get on into it because I have been kind of hyped up a little bit lately, and I'm excited about my life. I'm looking at all the things that I've accomplished so far, and that started from, I don't know, the first time I had an idea to do something for myself that I might be able to make something that's better than everybody else or do something that makes my mark on the world. And maybe it wasn't for money at the time, but eventually it did. It became about money. And yeah, money is not merely something that I want to gain because I want to be better than everybody else or whatever. It's not like that at all. It's more like I want the tools and the opportunity. Money for me is a tool and it's an opportunity. It's a tool that I can use to create a better life for myself, and it grants me opportunities because then I can afford those opportunities. So if there is an opening in, an elite business class or something, if I have the money, I have the opportunity to go and attend that class. It was the reason that I went ahead and put myself in debt to be able to attend Tony Robbins Madani's coaching training because I saw the value in what he was trying to teach. And I knew that nobody else could create the kind of awakenings, paradigm shifts that he does. And he's done it so many times in so many different places, in so many different live events, right? Over and over again. I mean, I remember seeing him in Shallow Hal, and I don't remember him being such a big name back then. Maybe I was just too young to know better, but he was in Shallow Hal as the kind of person that would help you understand your own potential and help you see past the stories that you've been telling yourself at that point. And oh my gosh, he has changed so many lives, and I want to be able to create that kind of an effect. So honestly speaking, I have been doing this for a while. I have been trying really hard to create something even as a kid. So let me take you all the way back and show you exactly what I've been thinking about, right? So back in the day when I was little, I used to make things out of cardboard boxes, toilet rolls, stuff like that. But I was trying really hard to recreate things that I'd seen in real life. I used to make computers, y'all, as in like the computer screen and then the entire QWERTY keyboard, mouse, and everything back in the day when they had computers that had, what is it called? Floppy disk slots, as in the 5-inch floppy disk, and before that, and then after that, the 3-inch floppy disk, like all that stuff. I tried to make all of those things. I recreated it. I made sure I had blue paper for the blue screen that was the computer screen and everything. And I remember my aunt being so impressed that she would take all of my stuff, even though I didn't go to the school that she ran. She ran the Vidyalaya in Yogaville. She would take all of my art pieces and she would keep them on display in the school itself. So I felt like I was, part of the community. It was really awesome. And then from there, I used to make all of our cards. We grew up in a situation where we didn't always have the money, right? So we created as much as we could for the people that we love. So I wrote cards, I made cards, we made a lot of gifts and stuff. When I didn't have the kind of art tools that I wanted to have, what I would end up doing is tracing pictures that I really loved and then writing a message on them, coloring them in really pretty, and then I would give them to the person that I was trying to gift. And you know what? That actually came full circle because I've used that in my Grand Hyatt job as well. When I get to meet young kids who are, visiting with us and I'm trying to give them a parting gift because I enjoyed their company, it was fun to take care of them while they were there, I would actually do the same thing. I would trace something that I really loved, a picture that I really loved, and then I would write a message and I would color it in and send it to them. So it was something that I've always had in my arsenal, something that I've always been interested in doing. And so eventually I decided, okay, I'm going to make things and sell them. I think the very first time that I decided to make something and sell it was back in 2013 when I finally started knitting scarves for sale. Now, I didn't sell any of them, but they were on display and I was really proud of them and they looked great. It wasn't that they were ugly or anything. They looked really great. They were made of wool. They were fancy and fluffy and they had a little bit of a curl to them because that was the style back then, and I felt good about it. It was something that I could work towards, and even still, I felt like even if they didn't buy, right, it was something that I could say that I had done now. I was able to crochet. Back when I was in college, I remember knitting. I used to knit all the time. I taught myself how to knit because I had a lot of idle time when I was a dorm director. I would sit in front of the TV, watch whatever movie, and then be knitting, just knitting, knitting, knitting. And I remember knitting a Duke blanket. So it was Blue Devil blue and black. And then in the middle, I was able to find a piece of the logo, just the logo head itself, and I was able to sew it into the middle of the blanket. So that was for my then boyfriend, and it took me a long time, but I loved it so much. It was so much fun to do, and it was something to just keep me occupied. So it was really, really simple, really straight edges, nothing fancy at all. Just knitted and very thick and very warm and very snuggly. So I felt good about that. So I've been doing little bits and pieces of everything that I do right now. I've been doing since I was a kid. I remember when I first got to college, I took over the Eagle's Nest, which was the snack shop downstairs. After I stopped working for Chartwells, it kind of continued from there, though. Chartwells was in charge of all of the food distribution joints in the college itself. So the snack shop was one of them, and then of course is the main cafeteria upstairs. I worked in the main cafeteria for a little while, but then I realized I liked the snack shop a little bit better. It was a little more intimate. So I had this big flat top grill that I could make all kinds of stuff on. I made Salisbury steak, y'all. I made Philly cheesesteak. I made, gosh, what did I make? I made double cheeseburgers. I made hot ham and cheese. I made, you name it, I made it. We had the ability to actually have fryers. There were two fryers on the side as well. So I was able to do chicken patties. And when I had the chance, I would fry up chicken patties, I would cut them up, and then I would saute them on the flat top and make a hot chicken sandwich as well. So I did whatever I could. I thought it was really cool. But here we go, fast forward into 2020 and 2019, and I've actually done meal prep for people. I've actually cooked for people. I've made lunches for nurses so that they can actually like have it pre-packed for an entire week, and they can pre-package it for every lunchtime and just take it on the go, on the go, on the go. They don't have to worry about cooking for themselves. They don't have to worry about the cleanup. Everything is just taken care of. So they paid me, I cooked, and then delivery was done, all taken care of. So if you notice, right, I've always had this streak of self-sufficiency where I learned to do things for myself, and then eventually, when the time came, I was able to offer it as a product or a service. So all of the artwork that I've ever done, I've been able to do that for paid projects. I've been able to do graphic design now because I've graduated from pencil and paper to to Canva and WordSwag and things like that. So I feel really good. Back in the day, man, I used to do all kinds of stuff with paint. Let me tell you, I was able to manipulate a lot on paint itself, and that was what, rudimentary stuff. And now I'm feeling really good about the things that I can create on Canva, for myself, for other people, and I just really enjoy it. So it's pamphlets and flyers and marketing tools like media kits and proposals and resumes, like all kinds of stuff. So I'm constantly evolving, I'm constantly pushing myself, and I really enjoy that aspect of me. I love that part of me because I get all geeked up about new stuff, and I want to learn programming, and yeah, I feel pretty good about it. So for all intents and purposes, I wanted to take a trip back down memory lane to remind myself exactly how far I've come. I started with color pencils and, pencil and paper and erasers, just like everybody else. And I've kept to that a lot. I don't use pen that often. I haven't gotten to a point where I feel confident enough where I could do pen. But yeah, I do enjoy pencil and paper a lot. I enjoy trying my best at cooking. I've already talked to you about cooking. I love to cook. I recently had someone order cakes from me, and I wasn't even selling cakes. It's just a matter of fact that they happened to be a neighbor of mine for a while, and while I was making food, because it was just baby girl and me, I can't eat like a whole damn cake by myself. So I would keep half the cake for me and give the other half to them, so they would have like something at tea break or whatever. And she remembered, y'all. She remembered how good the cake was. She really enjoyed it. It was a coffee cake, and she definitely ordered 2 cakes from me for Christmas, and for the first time I got paid to make cake. Usually I just bring it as potluck stuff and everything, but that felt pretty good to me. So alongside the meal prep, alongside bulk lunches for nurses, I was able to do this as well, and it made me feel pretty good. What else have I been doing? Oh my gosh, let me tell you, the memories popped up today on Facebook, and it was showing me all the things I did on this day in the past, right? So 2 years ago, I launched my first t-shirts, and as much as I feel good about the t-shirt itself, and I feel like people really enjoy the t-shirt, I do know also now that it could be misconstrued as controversial because there is a specific flag on this damn t-shirt that a lot of drama and chaos is associated with, which some of our people, our Tamil diaspora people, don't appreciate. And it's not that I'm trying to tell them that, I'm affiliated with this flag and all that it stands for, but I'm saying it's a flag. Because if you really want to pick at stuff, like the British flag has a lot of shit attached to it too, but people proudly wear that all over the place. So 2 years ago, I launched my t-shirts. I sold the first 50. I went out and printed another 50 more, and I sold the next 50, and I felt pretty good about that because it was making me money. And I may revisit that again soon. We'll see about that. But in the meantime, I've looked at other memories that popped up. I remember 7 years ago today, which would have been a month after I left the States, I started my first blog. It was it was called The Evolution of Pika back then, and it helped me. It was catharsis. It helped me to kind of purge all of the thoughts and feelings that I had about leaving, about divorce, about marriage, about abortion, about single motherhood, like all of that. I got a chance to actually get all of that out of me, and that was actually really cathartic. Although that blog is now dead and gone, but I still have the blog pieces with me, so I feel pretty good about that as well. What else? Gosh, this time 15 years ago, I remember I was trying really hard to make a go of it with Amway. I was trying to, see if I could do the whole MLM thing. And as much as I love the products and as much as I really enjoy using eco-friendly, concentrated formulas for cleanup and stuff, because that means I don't have to buy over and over again. I can actually save a lot of money. As much as I loved that, I didn't want to push people into doing it. I would rather do the reviews. I would rather show you all the things that I can do with the products that they have, rather than push people into the business, because the only way you really make money is if people join the business as owners. So that didn't really quite suit me, but I'm glad I tried, because now I know what works for me and what doesn't work for me. This is why I do reviews of products now, but honest reviews. I'm not here to promote the product just because you gave it to me, but I do want people to know, hey, this is how it could work. This is how it might not work so well. It just depends on you and your preferences, and you are allowed your preferences. So I'm not pushing anyone to buy anything in particular, but I'm telling you what my experience is like. So it's been wild. It's been interesting. I remember I used to do videos, quick snippets, right, and stills of doing baby girls' hair. And I've had people ask me, will I do hair for them? Will I, braid their hair or whatever? And they're willing to pay me. I remember one girl said, she wanted extensions in her hair. She wanted box braids, but she wanted extra hair added. And she promptly paid me $300 to do that. And it was messy and quite time intensive, but it was well worth the $300. That was pretty damn interesting to me. So I've tried a little bit of everything, and I'm glad that I have, because in the grand scheme of things, I now have a specific set of skills that I think I can use for my own business. I remember going through the different jobs that I've had here in Singapore and thinking, you know what, I don't know where I'm going to work next, but here's what I want. I want the next job that I get to include skills like Facebook marketing, because I don't have that yet. I don't understand Facebook ads yet. I'm not sure how to write the content or the copy for some of those things. And so I chased the skills that I wanted, and eventually, now, I have all the skills I need. It's just a matter of putting the strategy in place for me to get to where I need to be. So as you look back on the end of 2020, I want you to think about everything you've accomplished so far. And not necessarily just in 2020. I want you to reach back as far as you can remember and really celebrate all the shit that you've accomplished, Joe, because all of those things are useful. None of that is a waste of time. None of that is, off the beaten path and you can't use it anymore. Nah, that's bullshit. You can use everything you've ever learned in every job, in every experience, in every class you ever attended. You can find something that's useful to whatever it is that you're trying to build now. Because honestly, I believe in the life I've led so far. I believe I had it to live just this way, with all these experiences, the pain, the trauma, all of it. I love it all. I appreciate and respect it all, because without it, I wouldn't be sitting here with you talking to you about all of these things that have to do with motivation, mindset, time management, finance management, talking about building a business, being a parent, talking about, human relations 101, emotional intelligence, trying to teach you how you can make the most of your life, even though you may feel like you don't have a lot, because I guarantee you have enough to get to that next place where you will have enough again. And I'm saying this to you just like I would try and pep myself up, because I know sometimes we need that extra support. We need someone to remind us, hey, you know what? Not all is lost yet. You're not down and out yet. You still got a little fight in you. You got to get back up and get on it. Get to your projects. Get to your dreams. Go start building for yourself, because the truth of the matter is no one's coming to rescue you. This is your story. You're the author. You choose what happens. And as much as you want to lay down and take a break, I get it. Do that for a while. But at some point, you're going to have to get back out there and do what you got to do to get to that next place. So I love you guys. I hope you take the time, like I asked you to celebrate everything that you've accomplished so far. Big or small, I don't care. If you woke up and got out of bed today, celebrate that shit, because some people don't make it out of bed. So all of it matters. All of it builds up to who you are right now and all the things that you could possibly do in the future. So you guys, go back through your memories in Facebook. Go back through, some mementos. Take a trip down memory lane for a little while, because all of it matters. and I'm sure you'll find some inspiration back in the past somewhere. All right? I love you guys. I'll catch you later. Bye.